the most visible example of this transformation, where human cashiers are disappearing at unprecedented speed. Walk into any convenience store today, and you'll find AI checkout systems replacing the friendly staff who once greeted every customer with perfect politeness. These automated systems now handle 60% of convenience store transactions across Japan. The technology behind these systems combines computer vision with weight sensors and barcode scanning. Customers scan items themselves, while cameras track every movement to prevent theft. The machines recognize products through multiple identification methods, process payments instantly, and provide receipts without human intervention. Advanced AI algorithms learn customer behavior patterns to optimize the checkout process. FamilyMart leads this automation wave, installing unmanned checkout systems that boost operational efficiency while reducing wait times and labor costs. 7-Eleven and Lawson followed with similar implementations, creating enhanced customer satisfaction through faster service. These systems operate 24 hours without breaks, sick days, or wage increases. The impact extends beyond simple job displacement. Employment opportunities for part-time workers, traditionally filled by students and retirees, disappeared rapidly. Customer experience changed from personal interaction to efficient self-service. Wait times dropped significantly, but the human element that made Japanese convenience stores special vanished. This automation trend reflects Japan's broader commitment to modernizing every aspect of daily life, including how people navigate and understand their surroundings. English everywhere by law. Government mandates now require English signage throughout Japan's major cities, creating the most comprehensive bilingual infrastructure the country has ever implemented. The 2025 expansion extends far beyond Tokyo and Osaka to include every prefecture capital and major tourist destination, fundamentally changing how visitors and residents navigate public spaces. The implementation challenges proved more complex than anticipated. Automated translation services produced what locals call Japlish, confusing English that often made situations worse. Signs appeared with phrases like, "What happens to the children fair from what age?" and transport companies calling children dwarves. Many English-speaking foreign residents report being asked to correct machine-translated text, only to watch their bosses choose the automated version anyway. This affects daily life for both residents and visitors in unexpected ways. Tourists navigate public transportation more easily, but the poor translation quality sometimes creates more confusion than clarity. Foreign residents find their environment more accessible, yet frustrating when signage makes no sense. Surprising resistance emerged from some local communities who value traditional insularity and quiet environments. They view widespread English signage as disrupting cultural norms that prioritize silence and homogeneity. This represents Japan's commitment to international accessibility, even when execution falls short of intentions. The ongoing effort to improve translation accuracy reflects broader tensions between preserving traditional values and accommodating foreign expectations that extend into previously untouchable areas of Japanese culture. Tipping creeps into Japanese culture. The most shocking cultural shift involves something that was once considered deeply insulting. Walk through Tokyo's Shibuya or Kyoto's Gion district, and you'll notice small tip jars appearing at cafes, restaurants, and souvenir shops, a sight that would have been unthinkable just 3 years ago. Tourist-heavy areas are leading this cultural transformation. Establishments in Asakusa now allow staff to accept tips directly from foreign visitors. Hotels in popular districts like Shinjuku train their employees on how to gracefully receive gratuities without appearing confused or refusing the gesture. Some restaurants near major attractions have introduced discreet service appreciation boxes at checkout counters. This creates genuine tension between traditional values and economic necessity. The concept of omotenashi, exceptional hospitality without expectation of reward, conflicts directly with accepting extra payment for service. Staff members often appear uncertain when offered tips, torn between cultural training and obvious financial benefits. Foreign tourism drives this unprecedented change. With Japan targeting 60 million international visitors by 2030, businesses adapt to tourist expectations rather than risk appearing unwelcoming. Areas like Tokyo Station, Osaka Castle surroundings, and Mount Fuji's base stations show the most visible acceptance of tipping practices, transforming centuries-old service culture to accommodate global customs. These cultural adaptations represent just one way Japan responds to external pressures. Sometimes the most effective changes come from internal policy decisions that reshape behavior almost overnight. The plastic bag extinction. A simple fee created one of the most dramatic environmental changes in Japanese consumer behavior. Starting in 2024, every store in Japan began charging for plastic bags, from convenience stores to department stores to local markets. This universal implementation meant consumers faced the choice between paying extra fees or bringing their own bags for every single purchase. The universal plastic bag fees achieved a 95% reduction in usage within just 18 months. Before the fees, Japanese consumers used an estimated 30 billion plastic bags annually. After implementation, that number dropped to fewer than 1.5 billion bags per year. The speed of this transformation surprised even government officials who expected gradual adoption over several years. Japanese consumers adapted with remarkable efficiency. Within 6 months, reusable bag sales increased by 400% as shoppers invested in sturdy alternatives. Convenience stores reported that 90% of customers now bring their own bags or purchase items without bags entirely. Even elderly shoppers, typically resistant to change, embraced reusable options. The environmental impact extends beyond simple waste reduction. Plastic pollution in Tokyo Bay decreased measurably. Landfill plastic waste dropped by corresponding amounts. This success reflects Japan's growing environmental consciousness and willingness to change behavior for sustainability goals. But environmental initiatives represent just one area where traditional Japanese attitudes are shifting. Other long-standing cultural barriers are also beginning to crack under pressure from changing social expectations. Tattoos break into gyms. The body art that once guaranteed gym rejection is finally gaining acceptance in unexpected numbers. Walk into fitness centers across Japan today, and you'll find 40% of facilities now welcome tattooed members, a dramatic shift from the blanket bans that existed just 5 years ago. Chain gyms like Anytime Fitness and Gold's Gym Japan lead this cultural transformation. These international brands implemented tattoo-friendly policies that prioritize member comfort over traditional restrictions. Boutique fitness studios and yoga centers show even higher acceptance rates, with many actively marketing themselves as inclusive spaces for all body types and artistic expressions. Resistance persists in traditional establishments and luxury facilities. Hotel gyms still maintain strict no-tattoo policies. Public sports centers operated by local governments continue enforcing bans. Onsen-style gym facilities with communal baths remain completely off-limits to tattooed individuals, preserving the historical association between tattoos and organized crime. The increasing presence of foreign residents drives this change in attitudes. International companies brought global workplace standards that don't discriminate based on body art. Social media exposure normalized tattoos among younger Japanese people who see body art as personal expression rather than criminal affiliation. This reflects broader generational changes where individual choice increasingly trumps collective conformity. But while some traditional restrictions loosen, others face direct legal intervention from government authorities determined to protect worker welfare. Overtime gets legal limits. The 2024 law capping overtime at 45 hours monthly represents the most aggressive intervention in Japanese workplace practices since labor laws were established. This legislation directly targets the overwork epidemic that kills thousands of Japanese workers annually through stress-related heart attacks and strokes, fundamentally challenging the work culture that created the term karoshi. Companies scrambled to adapt to these strict new limitations through dramatic operational changes. Toyota restructured entire production schedules to eliminate mandatory overtime shifts. Sony implemented automated time tracking systems that lock employees out of buildings after reaching monthly limits. Mitsubishi developed rotation schedules that distribute work among larger teams rather than overloading individual employees. Enforcement mechanisms carry serious financial consequences for violations. Companies face fines up to 300,000 yen per affected employee, plus mandatory government audits that can shut down operations temporarily. Labor inspectors conduct surprise visits to verify time records, and whistleblower protections encourage employees to report violations without retaliation fears. The impact shows measurable results within 18 months. Hospital admissions for work-related stress decreased by 23% in major cities. Employee satisfaction surveys reveal improved mental health scores across industries. This represents a fundamental shift in work-life balance priorities, forcing corporations to value employee survival over traditional productivity expectations.